Dinamation International is committed to building the highest quality robotic creatures possible, and we're committed to keeping these creatures looking good and running smoothly while they're on public display. This video is intended to give you the information you need in the event you detect a small rip or tear in the creature's skin. If one of Dinamation's field technicians is not available and you're required to repair the skin yourself, be sure to watch this video and read the enclosed instructions thoroughly before you begin your repair. Each shipment of Dinamation creatures comes with a skin repair kit similar to the one you see here, including 6 tubes of X100 elastomer, a small square of 5-inch thick foam, 1 quart of Cabicil, 24 razor blades, 24 tongue depressors, 12 paint sticks, 12 paint brushes, 25 32-ounce cups, 1 yard of white stretch fabric, texture pads, 1 box of latex gloves, and 1 quart of methylene chloride. If this is not included in your repair kit, contact Dinamation's field service office for a recommended substitute. Also, a few items you'll need to purchase before you begin your repair include a can of 3M brand 74 spray adhesive, any brand of cyanoacrylate super glue gel, and at least 1 quart of isopropyl alcohol. You'll also need to provide your own airbrush. Before you begin, be sure to read the safety precautions on the labels of the chemicals with which you'll be working. Use the latex gloves provided and wear a cartridge respirator and goggles at all times to ensure these chemicals don't come in contact with your skin and eyes. Now you're ready to begin your repair. The first step is to prepare the skin. Begin by using cyanoacrylate superglue gel to temporarily bond the skin together. This will ensure that the skin will not pull apart during repair. Next, remove the paint by scrubbing the area thoroughly with methylene chloride. Be sure to scrub at least 2 to 3 inches on each side of the tear. Once this is done, wait for about 20 minutes while the methylene chloride evaporates. During this process, it's important that you protect yourself from breathing any vapors from the methylene chloride. If not used properly, methylene chloride can cause serious external and internal injury. Finally, wipe the entire area with isopropyl alcohol to remove any excess residue. Now you're ready to prepare the X100 elastomer and repair the skin. First, remove the X100 cartridge from the bag and undo the tape to break the barrier. Next, unscrew the plunger and push the contents of the cartridge into a cup. Once this is done, begin stirring with a paint stick until all of the components are thoroughly mixed. Add about half a cup of Cabicil and continue stirring until the entire mixture reaches the consistency of mayonnaise. Now brush a coat of X100, no more than 1/8 of an inch thick, over the repair area. Again, be sure to coat an additional 1 to 2 inches past the actual tear. Next, cut a piece of fabric 1 to 2 inches wider than the repair area and press the material into the wet X100. The fabric should be completely saturated, so you may need to brush on additional X100. However, be careful not to make the repair too thick. At this point, you should let the X100 cure completely until it's relatively tack-free and you don't detect any soft spots. This should take between 1 to 2 hours, depending on the environment in which you're working. Extremely hot or cold conditions may extend the curing period to between 4 and 6 hours. Once the repair area is cured, mix a second batch of X100 with between 1/2 to 3/4 cup of Cabicil. Continue mixing until it becomes thick, about the consistency of peanut butter. Now use one of the tongue depressors to spread the X100 mixture over the entire repair area. Be sure to sculpt the mixture into any existing contours of the skin. Once the area is completely covered, thin the edges down as much as possible with a tongue depressor. Continue thinning by dipping a gloved finger into the alcohol and blending the edges of the repair into the surrounding skin area. Be sure to use a cloth to blot off any excess alcohol. Too much alcohol will inhibit the X100 from curing. Finally, use the texture pad to match the existing skin surface. Dip the pad into the alcohol to prevent sticking, and then press gently over the entire repair area. Again, be sure to use as little alcohol as possible. You may have to repeat this process until the X100 holds the texture. Before we move on to painting the skin, let's take a look at some of the important steps you'll need to know when repairing larger rips and tears. When repairing large gaps in the skin, prepare the surrounding surface just as you would when repairing smaller rips and tears using methylene chloride and alcohol to remove the paint and excess residue. Once this is done, cut a piece of foam so that it fits flush with the surrounding skin, then secure the foam in the gap using 74 spray adhesive. Next, use a small razor blade to sculpt the foam to match any existing wrinkles and grooves. Now you can proceed with your repair following the same steps already outlined. Brush a thin coat of X100 onto the entire repair area. Press a pre-cut piece of stretch fabric into the wet X100 until it's saturated. Spread the second, thicker batch of X100 over the repair area. Thin the edges down and use the texture pads to match the existing skin surface. Now that the skin has been repaired, we're ready for the third and final step. Before you begin painting, you should let the repair area cure completely. This generally takes between 3 to 6 hours, depending on your work environment. Your repair kit includes additional brushes as well as all the paints you'll need to complete the skin repair process. These paints have been numbered in the order they should be applied to the repair area. First, connect your airbrush to the built-in compressed air system on the Dinamation creature itself. Next, adjust the airflow valve to make sure the paint is spraying properly. The colors should blend to match the area surrounding the repair. To do this, paint from the lightest to the darkest color, taking care to match the previous paint design. If the paint begins to web too much, you can thin it down by adding small amounts of methylene chloride until the paint reaches your desired consistency. Once you've painted the repair and the surrounding area, your skin repair is complete. Now let's review quickly this 3-step process. First, prepare the skin for repair. Use superglue to temporarily bond the skin together, and then scrub the area thoroughly with methylene chloride and alcohol to remove the paint and excess residue. Second, mix and apply the X100 elastomer. Brush on a thin first coat and cover with the white stretch fabric. Next, apply a thicker second coat. Use the alcohol and texture pads to thin the edges and blend with the surrounding skin area. For larger rips and tears, follow these same steps after you've filled the gap with a piece of foam and contoured the foam to match the existing grooves in the skin. Third, let the repair area cure completely before you begin to paint. Using an airbrush, paint from the lightest to the darkest color, blending the colors to match the existing design. Once the paint has dried completely, usually 1 to 2 hours, your Dinamation creature is ready to be run again. One last reminder, you should not begin your repair without the appropriate safety equipment, including latex gloves, goggles, and cartridge respirator. Also, be sure to read the safety precautions on the labels of the chemicals you're using. We hope this video has made the skin repair process a little easier for you. If you have any questions, contact Dinamation's Field Service Liaison at 1-800-547-0503.